There are only 4 axioms, all other statements are consequences of them. Axiom number 1. Any mass-instilled opinion that isn't supported by ironclad evidence is wittingly false. Axiom number 2. Power doesn't deprave, it inherently attracts psychopaths, sociopaths, sadists, rapists, murderers, perverts, pedophiles, and traitors. Axiom number 3. All countries and peoples should be judged equally, without exception or privilege. Axiom number 4. There are 2 fundamental rights that every person possesses from birth: the right to live and the right to choose. All people are equal in these rights, regardless of nationality, race, citizenship, religious beliefs, or political affiliation. Everyone has the right to choose their beliefs, and this is a personal matter. Now we are going to statements. But people are not equal in ability, no matter how much you deny it. The human brain has its own evolution, independent of the evolution of the human body. All people can be cashiers, very few can become spaceship engineers, and there was only one Newton. Regardless, a person cannot be deprived of the right to try to climb the ladder. This is called equal opportunity for all, but the vacancies will be filled by the people most capable of a particular job. This is called contest. A person cannot be blamed, cannot be subject to sanctions based on their abilities, only for actions, because abilities are not chosen. The strength of humanity lies in the diversity of abilities, because abilities are not inheritance, they arise randomly. The weakness of humanity lies in the diversity of views imposed by criminal political systems and totalitarian mass propaganda. This is why ants are called social insects. This is why humanity's development has stalled at the ant level, because different anthills are hostile to one another. I consider this a disgrace for which the modern nature of power is guilty. A person's right to choose cannot be taken away. A person's right to life can be taken away. If and only if the beliefs chosen by a person teach that adherence to them makes their followers exceptional or special in comparison with other people, that their followers have the right to decide the destinies of other peoples and countries, or that they command the killing of those who do not share their views. I consider the most cruel actions, including complete extermination, permissible against people who profess such beliefs. I don't consider them human beings at all, not even mammals. To me, they are more like pests, like hornets or lice, that should be burned and crushed. I include among such beliefs nationalism, nativism, religious extremism, and also radical pro-Western, mistakenly called liberalism. In our language, this is called liberastia. The word liberastia is untranslatable into other languages. It can only be transliterated as liberasti. Liberasts have no common citizenship, nationality, or race. They are united by only one imperative. The global West, led by the United States, can do anything, and everything that the global West and the United States do is a priori blessing, while the rest of the world must submit or be destroyed. All the diarrhea they spew from the rotten mouth boils down to one argument. I view any political ideology or economic doctrine as a cattle stall used by psychopaths and sadists in power to divide people in order to control them and pit them against each other, both within and between countries. I don't trust a single blogger, mass media or social network, because they are all controlled by the government or the secret services. I don't give anyone my trust in advance. I am completely indifferent to religion. At best, various beliefs, rituals, ceremonies, and prophecies only dulls the mind and makes a person incapable of distinguishing truth from lies. True, original freedom is not tied to any particular country or region, has no political form, and can not be expressed in cries for freedom. The louder the cries for freedom, the further the system is from this freedom. The current world order centered around the United States is deeply flawed and is leading humanity to collapse due to the extremely destructive control methods of special and secret services over states and societies around the world, as well as the constant military conflicts unleashed by the United States, which now threaten to escalate in the Third World War. I am a staunch opponent of the global West in general and the US state apparatus in particular. I consider almost everything that emanates from them to be evil. The modern interpretation of electoral democracy has completely outlived itself. Choosing from the same pool of politicians leads to the generation of the state apparatus, infesting it with traitors, psychopaths and maniacs. It is far more important to execute depraved politicians and officials than to imitate freedom of choice where it does not exist. I call this reverse democracy. Society must brutally kill traitors and psychopaths in power without any trial or investigation until they disappear completely. Then and only then will honest people and no others be in power. I believe the institution of the state itself has lost all relevance because it is a 10,000-year-old "invention" of bandits who appropriated land by force of arms, turned its inhabitants into their subjects, no-code citizens, and taxed them, using these same inhabitants to mobilize and send them to war against the equally defenseless inhabitants of another state to seize their land, homes and property. This model has not changed anyway to this day. Institution of government must be radically changed, which is impossible without a planetary revolution and global victims. I strictly separate the power, the secret, special and intelligence services and officials from ordinary people. Leaving aside the island microstates about whose situation I know nothing, not a single modern state on the planet reflects the interests of its people, with the exception, in my opinion, of China and North Korea, about which I also know very little. At least these states have developed exclusively peacefully and have never harmed anyone. Looking back and giving you an example, I consider Thomas Sankara, the leader of Burkina Faso from 1983 to 1987, to be my authority. It was precisely because of his views and lack of control over him by the West he was assassinated by Western intelligence services. I am convinced of the importance of humanism because without kindness and compassion for others and without protecting the weak, any idea will inevitably degenerate and lose all meaning. But humanity cannot extend to power, otherwise it automatically degenerates into pseudo-humanism and oppression of the lower classes. A good politician is a dead politician. Without the ability to separate good from evil, our existence will be no different from microbes. I place science and knowledge at the forefront of my views, and I consider myself a supporter of technological progress and technocracy. There are three types of systems: biological, engineering and social. Biological systems are beyond human control. They are laws of the universe, born with it. Engineering systems created by humans are limited by the properties of physics such as energy, friction, energy conversion efficiency, laws of thermodynamics and so on. Social systems such as the state, political system and others require regular and radical renewal. Without regular purges of sadists and psychopaths who constantly accumulate to a critical mass, gain power and start wars, humanity will destroy itself and will never be able to populate even the moon. The only thing that can unite all humanity and give it a true meaning to existence is expansion outward, toward the stars. Otherwise, technological progress coupled with the current political system on our planet will turn humanity into digital slaves, deprived of any independence and doomed to extinction even without wars. I will never be proud of anything I haven't created with my own hands or brains. I will not tolerate two things for even a nanosecond: betrayal and lie, Any system that acts against the interests of its people automatically becomes treacherous. Any person or system that broadcasts lies is completely discredited in my eyes. The combination of betrayal and lies with ideas of superiority over others is, for me, absolute evil that must be stopped at all costs. The idea that states and the world are ruled by capitalists and corporations who, through the politicians they control, wage wars for their own profit is absolutely false. My fundamental credo in life is the pursuit of scientifically based truth, as close to the facts as possible, uncorrupted by ideology and beliefs, and consistent with the ideas of humanism and justice. It can be summed up in 3 words: сила в правде. У кого правда, тот и сильней.